You're watching local coverage you can count on. This is WANE 15 News, first at 5.
We're just so proud and just so fortunate to be offered the opportunity to serve our coworkers and our community.
A historic day as the first COVID-19 vaccine administered in the state happens in Fort Wayne. The Parkview Miro Center has been transformed into a vaccine distribution area. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dirk Rowley.
And I'm Tara Brantley. Parkview is one of 5 healthcare systems to get the vaccine in the Hoosier State. We have a lot to get to tonight with team coverage on this vaccine. WANE 15's Chris Darby starts us off by walking us through this process. Okay, Chris, why was Parkview selected?
Partially because Parkview has access to the sub-zero refrigeration needed to store the vaccine. UPS delivered the first 975 doses around 7 o'clock this morning. The first shot given out about 5 hours later. The State Department of Health worked to decide who in healthcare should get the first doses. While the people at Parkview relayed that information to their staff, healthcare workers do not necessarily have to be Parkview employees to get the shot. It's also not mandated, just highly encouraged.
There has been, I think, a lot of anxiety around the country. We have seen lots of death, and I think having a vaccine and being able to defeat the virus is very important. And so for me personally, I think it's great. And of course, when it's my turn, I will take the shot because I just think it is the right thing to do, and it's the right thing to do for the community.
We can expect about 2,000 doses to be given out this week and another 8,000 next week. As part of the process at the Miro Center, those who get the vaccine will also get a date. They'll need to go back to get that necessary second dose. More on that process and the prep work that was needed coming up at 6. In studio, Chris Darby, WANE 15 News.
Much needed news, Chris. Thank you. And as the first shots are being given, Indiana health officials are reporting thousands more new cases of the virus. Today, they announced another 5,000 residents have tested positive. That puts Indiana's total over 430,000, more than 6% of the state's population. 35 more Hoosiers have died from COVID. The state's positivity rate is now just under 13%. In Allen County, 1 more resident has died and another 231 have tested positive. Allen County's positivity rate just over 16%. All this comes as one area county is asking for all hands on deck to help coordinate the distribution of the COVID vaccine.
The DeKalb County Health Department needs volunteers to help administer the shots. WANE 15's Kaitor K has details on how to sign up. Kaitor?
DeKalb County Health Director Cheryl Lynch tells us that the earliest that local health departments will get the vaccine is on January 4th, but the preparation begins right now. They're not sure yet how many vaccines they'll get or who they'll be allowed to give them to. They just know that they need the help. They're seeking volunteers to help them register and screen people, as well as inject the vaccine. Without volunteers, their staff could administer 300 shots a day, but they want to be prepared to give out much more than that. Lynch says they're thrilled that distribution is right around the corner.
We're ready. We would like to get as many people vaccinated as possible so that we can get past the dilemma that this creates for our economy, for people having to be off work, kids to be out of school. The sooner we can get people vaccinated, the spread can be reduced so that we can get our society back into a normal routine.
To register to volunteer, you can go to the website for the State Emergency Registry of Volunteers for Indiana. That link can be found on WANE.com. In Studio 15, Kaitor K, WANE 15 News.
Kaitor, thanks. Today, one of the biggest mass vaccination efforts in the nation's history.
CBS News correspondent Naomi Ruckham reports from New York, where the first person in the U.S. received the vaccine.
Cameras flashed as healthcare workers at Hartford Hospital in Connecticut received a vaccine that will finally keep them safe. Nurse Sandra Lindsay got a round of applause when she got her shot in New York City.
I hope this marks the beginning to the end of a very painful time in our history.
There was more clapping when a FedEx driver dropped off the vaccine in Tampa, Florida. 145 distribution centers are getting shipments today. There will be another 425 deliveries Tuesday and 66 on Wednesday. Almost 3 million people will get the vaccine this week in all 50 states. A second dose will follow in 21 days.
We have enough vaccines already purchased to ensure we can meet our goal of vaccinating every American who wants it by the end of the second quarter of 2021.
Dry ice keeps the vaccine at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Extra shipments of the ice are also being delivered.
Today is truly an historic day. Vaccinations have been a tried and true public health measure for hundreds of years, but the development of a COVID-19 vaccine is nothing short of revolutionary.
The vaccine can't come soon enough. According to Johns Hopkins, the U.S. just crossed 300,000 deaths caused by COVID-19. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
An FDA board is scheduled to hold a meeting Thursday about approving Moderna's vaccine. So with the first round of vaccines now finally available in Fort Wayne, some of you have been asking if it's legal to require the vaccine.
WANE 15's Brianna Brownlee reached out to an employment attorney to get answers for you, and she joins us now in the newsroom with more. Bree?
Dirk, Tara, we have read the Facebook comments and concerns, and many of you want to know, is it legal for a company to require the COVID-19 vaccine? I spoke to a local attorney. He says, yes, it is. Now, for the general employee who refuses the vaccine after it's requested, the employer can then mandate the shot. If the employee continues to refuse, the employee could be terminated, potentially for insubordination refusal of following a command or instruction. Now, if this happens, unemployment compensation is difficult to receive.
Bottom line, business necessity pretty much currently drives the EOC as well as the OSHA standards as to, yes, the best thing to do currently under the law is for the employer to request or highly suggest or recommend the shot. As of date, probably not a good idea to simply cut down a mandate and say, do it or else.
Now, age and religion could potentially protect some workers who do not want to receive the vaccine. I'll have more on that tonight at 6 and 11. From the newsroom, Brianna Brownlee, WANE 15 News.
Looking forward to that, Bree. Thank you. Coming up on First at 5, the Fort Wayne Tin Caps want to help you get through the holidays. We'll explain how you can get a holiday survival package.
Plus, the Governor's Commission on Teacher Pay makes their recommendations. Here are the highlights when your number one news at 5 returns.